Fantasy Football with Mclovin has been brought to you by PC Basketball. If you find yourself yelling and screaming at the TV, throwing your loafers, you must be watching PC Basketball. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Fantasy Football with Mclovin and the big Green Bay Packer ticket. And let's go right into the news and notes. With Danny Woodhead injured, time is now for Melvin Gordon. With Danny Woodhead suffering a right knee injury, by the way, he's out for the year, the Chargers had no choice but to rely on second-year running back Melvin Gordon. Big ticket, take it off.
Yeah, I picked up Melvin Gordon in our fantasy league, by the way, if you guys didn't notice that. But yeah, I think this is his time. And with, the injury to Keenan Allen, now losing Danny Woodhead, they're hurting for offensive weapons. So he'll get a good amount of workload, and we'll really see what he's got year two.
All right, Mclovin, Josh McDaniels says Patriots quarterback plans yet to be determined. Jimmy Garoppolo's injury could leave the Patriots searching for quarterback help, but coordinator Josh McDaniels has confidence in rookie Jacoby Brissett.
Well, they never envisioned this. Let's just say that. They never envisioned Brissett coming in, having no Brady and no Garoppolo. I saw the hit, it looked like he separated the shoulder, and there was talk whether they could get him ready for Thursday, and it didn't look good. And I'm just very, very surprised that they didn't go out and get a quarterback, basically because unless they know something about Brissett that we don't, he hasn't taken many snaps with the first string, and this being a short week, he probably only got one, maybe two full, one full padded practice this week. I don't know. They're going to have to run the ball a lot. Houston's got a decent defense overall there, but they've given up the 8th most rushing yards in the league. So Blunt will have a big game. It's just a question of how quickly he can get the ball out and get the ball to Edelman and Amendola. And tight end there. Bennett, who had a big game. Big surprise is Gostkowski missing that
39-year-old field goal. Huh?
Yeah, yard field goal, which almost let Miami come back and tie the game at the end. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I don't know how much. I mean, if Belichick and McDaniels have faith in this guy enough not to go out and get another quarterback, then that's all the New England Patriot fans need to know.
Let me ask you a question, Pat, real quick. Do you think if they brought in a quarterback that he would have been ready to go on Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that if because they should have been starting looking Sunday night.
They did. T.J. Yates came in and this other guy, and they both left without signing a contract.
I was thinking to myself, Mark Sanchez.
He's on Dallas.
I know.
They're not going to trade for him. I mean, what are you doing here? Now, speaking of which, Michael Irvin says this.
Michael Irvin's a fucking idiot.
Well, listen to Michael Irvin. This you may not think is an idiotic statement. Michael Irvin says if the Patriots start Jacoby Brissett against Houston and he wins, they should rename the Lombardi Trophy the Belichick Trophy.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, But basically, I mean, Belichick's a better coach than Vince Lombardi was. He's done more, and only because
you didn't say that.
No, it's true. Only because that Belichick's done something in the free agent era that no other coach could ever do, and even Vince Lombardi. What he's done with the same team over the last 16 years, having a different roster every year and winning divisions and Super Bowls, and so I wouldn't vote against it, but at the same time, it's the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and he was the best coach.
How many championships did Vince Lombardi win before they decided to name the trophy after Vince Lombardi? That's what I would like to know.
I think it was when he was done coaching. Well, he won. I don't know. I think he won 1 or 2 Super Bowls, but he won
2 Super Bowls, and
I think he won 3 NFL championships. I think, or 2 NFL championships.
Well, speaking of NFL championships of yesteryear. Dak Prescott playing well, but Jerry Jones wants Tony Romo back ASAP. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says, quote, "We're a better team when Tony Romo is playing quarterback." Big ticket?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of too soon to say on Dak Prescott, but up until this point, they would definitely want Romo on the field being the quarterback. I mean, depending on what he's got left in the tank, I have no reason to think that he wouldn't be the best quarterback. Dak Prescott's going to need some time. So if they're trying to win this year, I think Romo's your guy. Dak Prescott might be the guy of the future, and the future might be soon. But
Future is now.
Future's now.
But, if Romo's healthy, ready to go at the end of the season, provided Dak Prescott doesn't do something outrageous, he's going to have some time to prove himself and win that job. And, if he comes out and he's a stud and leads them into the playoffs, winning the division, then, maybe he stays. But anything outside of that, I think Romo comes back and starts.
All right, here's a recurring pattern. Aaron Rodgers' Packers offense still out of sync. The Green Bay offense struggled again to find its rhythm, and the Packers might be forced to ask, when did Aaron Rodgers last dominate a game?
Well, I mean, I was talking about this today. Basically, Aaron Rodgers has not looked like the Aaron Rodgers of 2 years ago. Now, with all that being said, I think there's a lot of other variables that go into Aaron Rodgers having a good game. Now, for as poorly as he played, he did a good enough job to get his team where they needed to be, and wasn't good enough. They're on the road against Minnesota, but his 3 or 4 of his throws were high. He's never really that high. The ball's sailing on him. He hasn't taken a throw, maybe 1 or 2 with his feet set, meaning that he's worried about the offensive line and worrying about who.
Bad.
Correct. So Everson Griffin was on his back the entire game the other night.
Peter Griffin.
And is it going to get better? It can't get any worse. Okay. Now, what defenses are doing is they're pretty much taking Jordy Nelson out of the picture. Back in the day, 2, 3, 4 years ago, they always had that play action pass, and they'd throw for 80 yards on one completion. They did that, seemingly every other week. But now they're taking away Jordy Nelson. Randall Cobb, I guess he's an average to good receiver. They really don't have the tight end that the kid Cook, but and Eddie Lacy is actually running a lot better than he did last year. I just think after you get hit so many times, whether it's this year or last year, I think that he's always rushing a little bit with the time that he has, and then the ball release is very high. So he'll get better, no doubt. No doubt about that. But definitely, if it's something that's not corrected soon, you got to think twice about it. What I really have a problem is with not getting any more offensive line. All these teams that need to protect their quarterbacks never address the offensive line. Indianapolis is a great example. They never protect their quarterback, and they're always getting hit, and that's how they get injured. It's basic one-on-one football, but injuries are going to happen, and then they cut the kid's sitting. I don't know why, but we'll see what Green Bay has to offer for the rest of the year. I still picked Minnesota, even with all the Adrian Peterson going down. I still think Minnesota is going to win that division. But I think that says a lot about how many steps back that the Packers have taken.
Speaking of steps back, Saints cornerback Williams will be, quote, fine after concussion. Saints cornerback P.J. Williams was diagnosed with a concussion, according to his agent, and he will have to go through the NFL's concussion protocol before he can resume practice or playing.
Yeah, the concussion thing is, you never really know now with all the concussion protocol that they have, whether or not a concussion is going to be out for a week thing or out for half a year, lose a season. It's kind of crazy how things have changed, and the culture of professional football as far as surrounding head injuries and everything like that. You wish the guy the best, but there's been a lot of studies out there about, long-term effects of head injuries and things like that. You've seen some people walk away from the game, early, worried about head injuries and the things that can come with that. So, if he decides to continue to play, which I'm sure he will, because most of these guys aren't worried about that, but, hopefully it's something that doesn't keep him out too long, and, he doesn't. Unfortunately, concussions tend to breed more concussions, so hopefully it doesn't become a reoccurring problem.
Here's a recurring problem for Rex Ryan. The Bills Ryan, Cardinals and Patriots perfect opponents. The Bills are 0-2, but Coach Rex Ryan says the Cardinals and Patriots, whom Buffalo will face in weeks 3 and 4, are, quote, the exact competition his team needs.
Rex Ryan, I mean, he's really on his last leg there, and they fired their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, which is way too early in the season to fire
After the team photo he said, say cheese, you're fired, is what he said.
Anyway, Buffalo, if you looked at the box score against the Jets, you would have thought they played pretty well on offense. They had, quite a bit of passing yards, receiving yards, and touchdowns. But their offense is terrible. It's terrible. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is just garbage. He is an absolute garbage garbage. McCoy ran strong, and he's a pro. That kid, that runner, that Olympian runner is extremely fast. No, the kid on Baltimore,
Yeah.
Buffalo's in a heap of trouble. They're going to lose. They're going to get smoked against Arizona, and then they're going to get smoked against the Patriots. And I think they're going to be 0-4. And my prediction is that Rex will be out as head coach before the halfway mark of the season.
Oh, wow.
Really? So they're not going to fire him at the end of the year?
Now they're going to fire him during the end.
He definitely doesn't make it through the end of the year.
No, because, what's the point? You think about what's the point. The Bills are not a good team. So by putting in a new coach, an interim coach...
You get to take a look at a guy that
guess
might
so.
be interested
What it does is that it brings in... Once Rex... They're probably sick of hearing Rex right now, and a lot of teams... If you bring in... the season's lost anything, so you got nothing to lose. I don't see them ever coming out of this 0-2 hole, especially in the division that they're in. The Jets... I think the Jets going to win 10 games. Miami's going to be betting. What's that?
I don't know if the Jets will win 10 games.
I think so.
Yeah.
Football 101.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Rex, his time is up there.
Speaking of timing up there, taunting penalties spike as officials set tone for season. Officials' so-called taunting sensitivity syndrome might have cost Cleveland the game, and refs played a central role in concussion protocol.
So... First of all, did you guys see that play?
Yeah.
Did you see the flip? That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd for a ref to, really kind of change the course of the game based on something as little and minor as that. And the whole taunting thing, the whole dancing in the end zone, give me a break. Give me a break. The fans want to see it. If the players have a problem with it on the other team, don't let it happen. Mm-hmm. Don't be that guy. And it's just the reason why people call the NFL the no fun league is because the fact that they do this kind of stuff, and it makes the game less enjoyable for everybody who's watching. But to call a penalty on something like flipping the ball to a referee, that's just refs being oversensitive. They have this ego and they have this pride. And
I'm in charge of the penalties.
Exactly.
I am.
And, when somebody bruises their ego, they decide to take it out on them, and that's what you see, and it sucks, and I hate the refs in the NFL.
Well, basically, these taunting, it's not, the player on the other side doesn't give a shit. He's not taking it to the heart where he has to go and cry about it. If you go up there and you clap in someone's face and stuff, that's just part of the game. And unless you're, physically assaulting the guy or if they're making comments about their wife or their daughter or something like that, then you could maybe throw a flag. But all these taunting penalties, I have a different. It's very difficult to taunt in football because you have face masks on. You have taunting is more in the NFL, more in Major League Baseball when it's kind of a man-on-man type thing. But I personally don't think any of the NFL players, if they just got beat or that they take any offense to the taunt. I really don't. And just the fact of the matter that the ref has to come in and it's not like it's a 5-yard penalty. It's 15 yards, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct. and then you get another one, and then you're out of the game.
Out of the game.
You could do, you could do one end zone dance and then flip the ball the wrong way, and you could be ejected from the game.
Ejected.
That's just a bunch of bullshit.
Ejected
and
from life.
The NFL just, they want to keep everything in control, and they're letting it getting out of control now because the refs think that they're all high and mighty, and they're only making X amount, $10,000 a game or something like that, if that at most. And we don't want to hear from the refs. We just want to see
football.
Nobody's watching for them.
Correct, especially at the end of a game when you've played 60 fucking minutes of football. And you're right there, and it's back and forth, and to have an unsportsmanlike penalty, really cost the game is a shame on the NFL. These guys prepare every single day for an entire week to play one football game on Sunday, and to go that entire length of the game and then have one penalty, crush your whole week. It's ridiculous.
Here's ridiculous for the big ticket. Panthers running back Stewart's hamstring. He's out versus the Vikings this coming week. Panthers running back Jonathan Stewart is expected to miss this upcoming Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings because of a hamstring injury.
So, yeah, the hamstrings, they suck. They linger. Hopefully it's something that, he can get healthy and get back on the field.
It's like the Cranberry song.
They got Artis Payne, who will see. I know he didn't get to see any carries last week, and
Whitaker starting.
They had Whitaker going, but I think Artis Payne, I believe, is the better back.
I wonder if he's related to Sean Payne, who brings the pain.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but so. I doubt it. No, the real thing with that is that neither of those backs are really game-changing backs. They're not going to be a big enough impact to really make anything happen. They could fumble and they could cost the game, but they're not going to win the game for them. It's going to be about Cam, and it's going to be about him, getting the ball to the big receivers and doing the running things that he does, more so than either one of those guys making a real impact.
All right. Injured Browns quarterback McCown out against Miami. Browns quarterback Josh McCown is dealing with a shoulder injury, so rookie Cody Kessler will start on Sunday in Miami.
Cody Kessler.
He's excited about it. The Browns are the Browns. That's all you need to know is they take a 16-3 lead against a good football team in Baltimore, and then they find a way to fuck it up. McCown, he's a poor bastard. He's always hurt. He plays tough, but he's just not talented enough to ever A, stay in the field, or B, win football games. So the Browns are going to be the Browns again. The way they started off is going to continue down the road. 2 weeks, 2 injured quarterbacks, so we'll see what happens in week 3.
All right, Seahawks fined, lose pick for practice violation. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll has been fined $200,000, and the team has been fined $400,000, and will lose a 5th-round draft choice for violating the NFL's work rules on contact in the offseason.
So, I don't know. Do you know more about this?
Yeah, I do. So, basically, Pete Carroll is a fucking cheater. He has been since day one. He's a piece of shit. He single-handedly tore that USC program down, and before it was coming down, he jetted for the NFL. This has basically been his only penalty for all the garbage that he does is a 4th-round pick. What it was is, they were too physical in OTAs. They got reported, and they continue to do it. They should be lucky. They should be thanking God that they only lost a 5th-round pick. Basically because the NFL has this new policy that if the players have the entire right to run to their agent or run to the Players Association if they feel that they're contacted too much during a non-contract practice period. So Pete Carroll, he shouldn't have anything to say for everything that he's done in his cheating. For his entire life as football, is only losing a 5th-round draft pick. I think that he should be happy about that.
Well, Chargers running back Woodhead is not happy because he has a torn ACL in his knee. He's 31 years old and he'll miss the rest of the season. We talked about that. Mike Zimmer says running back Peterson has torn right meniscus. Adrian Peterson has a torn meniscus in his right knee, and the timetable for his return is uncertain. According to Viking coach Mike Zimmer, the updated medical analysis, he also has a torn LCL.
He's having surgery.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
So he's either going to be out
I heard 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months or just done for the year.
All right, sources. Pats don't plan to add quarterback versus Texans. The Patriots have no plans to add another quarterback before Thursday's home game against the Houston Texans. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter. Broncos where to have surgery. We'll go to the big ticket for this, and he'll miss 4 to 5 weeks. Broncos outside linebacker DeMarcus Ware is expected to miss 4 to 5 weeks after undergoing surgery Tuesday to repair a fractured forearm.
Yeah, it sucks to see a guy at the end of his career, missing, what could be games in his last season. I don't know if he said anything about retiring, but you gotta think it's coming in the next year or two. He's been a great outside pass rusher for his whole career. He had a great season last year when I think a lot of people wrote him off, and it sucks to see him out hurt. I mean, with the forearm thing, I don't see it something that, once it's good to go, he'll be back out there as good as he would have been. It's not like a leg injury or something that'll, hamper him for the season. But it sucks to see a veteran guy who's put a lot of time in and had a lot of success missing time, when he's only got so many games left.
Speaking of games...
I just want to say something. Yeah. That he's so good. He's a Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned.
I would agree.
Now, is Drew Brees a Hall of Famer as far as you're concerned? Because I listened to a football show earlier today, and two people were emphatically yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Probably.
All right.
Did Donovan McNabb make it to the Hall of Fame?
No.
He's up this year.
Yeah. I thought I saw like Donovan McNabb Hall of Fame quarterback, and I was like, wait, hold on. Because if Donovan McNabb made it to the Hall of Fame, then Drew Brees absolutely makes it to the Hall of Fame.
We can have this conversation all day. If you're gonna put a guy like Jim Kelly in the Hall of Fame, who was a good quarterback,
won 4 AFC championships.
Yeah, but lost 4 Super Bowls.
It's got to count for something.
But basically, Jim Kelly is a good quarterback at best. Drew Brees, just by numbers speaking, he'll probably get in. I think Drew Brees is a piece of shit.
I think Drew Brees is a piece of shit. He is the biggest load of garbage with all his commercials, and him and Sean Payton are a bunch of phonies, phony balonies. Anyway, back to DeMarcus Ware. That Denver defense is so good that they're able to have DeMarcus Ware be a situational pass rusher, which means that they don't even need him on the first 2 downs because they have good enough pass rushers and they can bring him in for 3rd down. So it's gonna hurt Denver, but not as much as people think.
Tebow committed to Mets, won't eye NFL return. Tim Tebow has an answer for the Patriots, Browns, and any other NFL team with a void of quarterback. He's a baseball player now.
That's a load of garbage. No one has been calling him about football.
He didn't have an offer on the table. That's why he's playing baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody's like, be my quarterback, he would be there trying to be their quarterback and complete 50% of his passes and do nothing.
Cowboys Gregory drops appeal of suspension. Cowboys defensive end Randy Gregory has withdrawn his appeal and will be suspended 14 games.
Damn shame. I really like this kid coming out of Nebraska. I thought he was going to be a difference maker as a pass rusher, and he showed the ability to do that with Dallas, and this is his 2nd suspension, I believe, and I don't know how long of a career he's going to have because he can't. He's a guy that one of the only reasons why he wasn't a first-round pick is because teams worried about his mental status, and that's a legitimate fact, and he's proving all those teams that passed on him in the first round right by not being available to help his team. It's unfortunate to see a kid who's obviously like distressed and he's a great football talent, but if he can't stay on the field, he's not going to be able to help his team. He's not going to continue his career.
Redskins Gruden has, quote, total faith in quarterback Cousins. Washington Redskins coach Jay Gruden is maintaining his patience and faith in Kirk Cousins despite the 5th-year quarterback's early struggles.
Well, they don't really have much of a choice.
You ran RG3 out of town, so you
he's their best quarterback, and he at the end of last year he was Superman. Now he's had a couple rough starts.
Don't like that.
Yeah. So the thing is that the NFL is different, and it's just like people in the United States. It's now, or I want everything now. I like Andy. He needs it now. And he's got zero patience for anything.
Zero patience for stupidity.
Zero patience. So head coaches and GMs in the NFL the same way, is that owners have zero patience now. Gone are the days of a coach being signed to a 4 or 5 year contract and then fulfilling that contract. Those are gone. So the more you lose, if your quarterback's struggling, the more the heat's going to be on you, which will then make the heat on the quarterback. I don't think they have a better option than Kirk Cousins, and they just got to ride it out and hopefully. But it's not just him. I mean, there's a lot of things going wrong on that Washington squad. So they better get their shit together, or the Giants are just going to run away with that division.
Rex Ryan. Rob Ryan has done, quote, as good of job as anybody coaching, end quote. Amid changes to the offensive coaching staff, Rex Ryan has faced questions about a lackluster defense that is guided in part by his brother Rob.
Listen, the whole Buffalo thing is a joke. It's been a joke. It's going to continue to be a joke. You want to talk about the worst coaching job in football? It's Buffalo, and they should be elated to even get Rex Ryan and have him be terrible, because they're just a terrible organization. And Rex is done. Me and Pat agree. We don't think he'll make it through the season, and if he does, he will not be brought back for next season. They will replace him, and he's trying to defend his brother, and I get that, but the team is just underperformed. They've had talented guys, and they've never been able to put it together. It was a coaching job that before he had it, I believe Chan Gailey had it, and then some other guy
the guy.
Nobody knows who any of these guys are, or they've been irrelevant and out of football for 15 years. Rex Ryan was the biggest name they could bring in, and it's not working out.
Doug Marrone.
He was a good coach.
Doug Marrone.
I think he did an all right job.
Yeah, he did an all right job.
Yeah.
But he would rather not be the head coach of the Bills than do anything else.
Correct. He'd rather retire than be the head coach of the Bills.
Correct. That's how bad this job is.
Sit and eat oyster crackers.
Yeah. That's how bad.
Speaking of oyster crackers, Arians not pleased with Cardinals' O despite rout. Coach Bruce Arians didn't have praise Monday for the Arizona offense or running back David Johnson, despite the Cardinals' 40-7 rout Sunday of the Buccaneers.
Well, I think he's just putting that on to more of a, to knock his players. I mean, they played a bad football team on Sunday, and they whooped them pretty good. I still think that he wants his team to get a lot better. They have all the talent in the world. David Johnson's a freak of nature. Carlson Palmer, and then they have a really good defense, a really good secondary. I thought you were going to say something. When I said that they beat a dog shit team on Sunday in Tampa Bay.
They played like dog shit.
Yeah, so
I still think they'll be an above average.
I was only kidding, but Arizona. I mean, as we see, Seattle something's going on in Seattle. Maybe they're not taking their steroids this year or something like that, because they just look horrible. They look absolutely horrible, and to lose to a Rams team
that's something else.
That is absolute garbage, basically, it's going to be that was the best division in football going into the season, and it's not nowhere near the best.
It's back to what it used to be.
It's back to what it used to be.
In football.
And the Cardinals are going to run away with that division, and I think he just wants to keep his players on their toes.
Source: Eagles right tackle Johnson starts appeal process. Eagles lineman Lane Johnson has started the appeal process as he faces a possible 10-game ban for violating the NFL's PED policy.
So, I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about him. If he's guilty, then I don't know what his appeal is, what kind of merit it's based on. But, he knows what the real situation is. And he's a good player for that team. He was a first-round pick. He's an anchor of that line. And with a rookie behind center, they need all the offensive line help they can get. He's still Carson Wentz rolling out on every play anyway. He still can't get good enough protection. But if he goes out and a backup has to take his place, that's going to hurt the run game because he's that right tackle, and it's gonna affect the passing game too. So if you're an Eagles fan, you hope he gets the appeal, and all these guys try and just delay the punishment as long as they can. So hopefully he'll win his appeal so you guys can win some games and stay competitive in the division. But if he's cheating, shame on him, and he deserves to be punished.
This is hilarious. I talked to Pat about this the other day. Testy Belichick on quarterback uncertainty. Quote, not a doctor. Patriots quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was a limited participant in practice Tuesday for the first time since spraining the AC joint in his right throwing shoulder. Now, for those of you who didn't hear the clip, Belichick was asked something about, some reporter asked him about whether Garoppolo was playing or whatever the case was based on the medical history, that medical findings that Belichick sees, and Belichick said something along the lines of this, and with his dry humor, it's something my dad would have said, and I lost it. And for those of you who haven't heard the clip, go Google the clip. It's hilarious. I can't play it on here for fear of copyright infringements. But basically, he says something along the lines of, listen, I'm a football coach, not a doctor, okay? I make the calls on the field for the football team. The medical staff makes the calls for the medical things for my football team. They don't call the plays, and I don't do surgery. We lucked out in that aspect of things. What a great bargain we have.
It brings us back to when he, which I think his most hilarious conference was when he was playing scientist with the ball pressure and how they did all these tests and everything like that, and same type of thing. You said, I'm a football coach, I'm not a scientist. He's right, but basically the media's only outlet is through him, or Brady or Edelman, and I guess they figure, and that's what the media does. They just throw these questions up there, hoping and praying that one day
he slips.
He's going to slip, and it's never going to happen. Yeah. And it is what it is. It's vanilla. It's it's like talking to a chair at times. You're not going to get any information out of him, but he's hilarious. And I think, as New England fans, we find it very, very funny. If he was with the Giants or the Jets, we'd hate him, but since he's with New England, we love him.
Yeah. Chargers signed former Pro Bowl running back McCluster. The Chargers signed former Tennessee Titans and Kansas City Chiefs running back Dexter McCluster on Tuesday.
How old is he?
27?
Yeah.
He's not that old. But he's done. He never had, so as a Pro Bowler, he was a return guy. Because the first thing I said was, hold on, how the hell did McCluster make the Pro Bowl? Because he's not that good. He's like one of those in-between guys. He's a running back. He's a receiver. He's not really good at either of them. But basically, they need depth. So that was what the signing was all about. If you can give them anything as a receiver or as a running back, they'll take it. But shouldn't make a big impact on the team.
Pat, Bears Trevathan needs surgery out indefinitely. Bears linebacker Danny Trevathan will be sidelined indefinitely as he'll undergo thumb surgery on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Soft.
Well,
when did linebackers ever leave the season for surgery?
They didn't say he's out for the year, though, right?
No, it didn't say that.
With all the medical shit that we've been talking about, and they're really going to take precaution across the board. Back in the 80s, this would never have just tape it up and go play next week. These days,
because they were men in the 80s.
They were men, yeah, and you definitely need your opposable thumbs when you're playing linebacker to get off blocks and everything like that. But I've seen the kid on Carolina play with a cast on his hand for a year. It can be done. He's a good player. He's not a great player. We'll see how long he's out for. But the Bears defense definitely needs to wake up.
Cutler has thumb sprain, surgery not expected. Bears quarterback Jay Cutler has a sprained thumb on his throwing hand, but is not expected to need surgery, Coach John Fox said Tuesday.
Yeah, so Jay Cutler, he's a guy I've defended a lot in the past, and it becomes harder and harder and harder to do that as the years go on. Fact of the matter is as far as physical talent and ability, he's one of the top guys in the NFL as far as ability for quarterbacks. But he's also the worst as far as putting it together and translating it into winning football. He does a lot of stupid things. He throws off his back foot all the time, which causes him to be inaccurate. But kind of like a Sam Bradford, he keeps getting the big money to go out there and be the guy. Chicago pays him more than Green Bay pays Aaron Rodgers, and it's ridiculous because he's never been a winner. So
67 and 69.
Yeah, so I mean,
he's a
and
500
people
guy.
question his toughness because of multiple times where he's left games over things like a sprained thumb. I get it; it's your throwing hand if you can't grip the football, but people go back to the pick that he threw. All right, this is what I heard. Well, that throw, he threw that interception because of his hand. Bullshit. He threw interception on that play because the linebacker came in like he was rushing up the middle and then dropped back into coverage and he didn't see him. That's why he threw the interception. It didn't have anything to do with his hand. He got embarrassed, so he left the game, and he just doesn't have the mental toughness of a football player. He doesn't have the mental toughness of a football player. It's unfortunate. It's a waste of talent.
Absolutely. He's got a cannon for an arm. I remember watching him in person when he was coming out of Vanderbilt. I think this was like in 2005 or 2006. Cannon for an arm. The thing is with Color, I just don't think he cares about winning. I don't see that extra competitiveness that you see from a Drew Brees, from a Peyton Manning, from a Tom Brady, from an Aaron Rodgers. Those intangibles that you just have to think on the fly and make things happen. That's how you win those. That's how your record goes from 67 and 69 to
83 and 42 or
correct.
something.
Yeah, just those. He throws a lot of bad balls. Watching Jay Cutler play, it doesn't seem that he's all concerned about turning the ball over. And he's always going to take chances.
No, he had 26 interceptions a couple seasons ago.
And he's going to continue to do what he wants to do. And Chicago a couple of years ago they could either released him and gone via the draft.
Signed him to an extension.
He's like Brett Favre if Brett Favre didn't want to win. That's exactly what it is. That's basically what he is.
Yeah.
Kaepernick says he has received death threats.
Good.
Niners quarterback Colin Kaepernick says his life has been threatened since his protest during the national anthem began, and notes that if he is killed, it will have, quote, proved my point.
Then have at it then. Go get him.
Patriots Rob Gronkowski, quote, satisfied with how injured hamstring is healing. Star tight end Rob Gronkowski said that his hamstring has improved daily, but did not say if he will be able to play on Thursday night.
Gronkowski is like... He's the guy. He's not rushing back for nothing.
No.
He could have came back like 3 weeks ago, and he just keeps. He's like I'm good. I'll let you guys know when I'm ready. And I get it. He's had some serious injuries, and he's had to take some time off for his health. Health is the reason why he wasn't a first-round pick, because people were worried about his back, and then it was his leg, and then it was his arm a couple times, and his shoulder, and like. So now with this hamstring thing, he's just milking it for all it's worth. He could come back and he could play next week if he wanted to, but they might not need him to with Martellus Bennett, so he's taking his time.
Well, I think I agree. I agree on for a different reason. I agree that there's no use in playing him right now. You'd rather have Gronkowski for week 16 than you have him for week 2 or 3. If it was up to Gronk, he's not smart enough. He would play every week, even though he was hurt, because he's a meathead. I think Gronk is one of those type of guys, but Gronk is the best tight end to ever play the game of football, ever.
I can't even disagree with that. Right?
But the thing is that he's never going to be healthy. He's never going to play a 16-game season. He's had ACL, he's had a hamstring, he's had a shoulder, he's had pretty much everything you could possibly have wrong with your body during a football career, and he still is a beast. And I think they're best just waiting 4 weeks and having Brady come back with a healthy Gronk.
I would definitely agree with that.
And go from there, because even if he plays Thursday, which he shouldn't,
you don't need him now.
You got Brissett, whoever. We're just hoping he can complete passes on Thursday.
Source, Bucks running back Martin likely to miss 3 weeks. Bucks running back Doug Martin, who was second in the NFL in rushing last year, will likely miss 3 weeks with an injured hamstring, a source told ESPN.
Charles Sims will come in and play. He's a good running back. Doug Martin had a resurgence last year. And,
first contract year.
Absolutely. He's playing when it matters. And he's a good running back. He's definitely above average when he's healthy. So just like Gronk on a smaller scale. Doug Martin's a guy that you want towards the end of the season if the Bucs are fortunate enough to be in contention for, a playoff spot. They want him to be full strength. They won't rush him back because Sims is good enough.
Lions placed running back Abdullah on IR with foot injury. Lions running back Amir Abdullah has been placed on injured reserve after visiting with a specialist concerning his injured left foot.
Did Riddick get hurt too?
I don't know. I didn't say.
I have no idea.
Oh. Well, Abdullah was the guy starting last year. He's out again. This guy's got a good amount of talent, but he just can't stay healthy. Detroit needs everything that they could possibly get. They need everybody to stay healthy in order to play a 16-game season and even go 8-8. We'll see, but Stafford needs all the help he can get, and without him down is not going to help the team at all.
Linebacker Schofield rejoining Falcons on one-year deal. Linebacker O'Brien Schofield told ESPN's Vaughn McClure that he is rejoining the Falcons on a one-year deal.
So I don't know much about this guy. I don't know what kind of role he's going to play with the team. I don't even know if this is even relevant that we're talking about this.
I don't know much about it either.
Colts wide receiver Moncrief out 4 to 6 weeks, Pagano says. Colts receiver Dante Moncrief will be out the next 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured scapula in his left shoulder.
That's going to hurt. He's the second, however you want to look, behind Hilton. Moncrief he's one of those hit or miss guys. He's one of those
Milwaukee Bucks type wide receivers.
He's like a Brian Dahlbeck. He's like a poor man's Greg Gettner. Meaning that
he's a poor man's Pierre Garcon.
Yeah. He's a poor man's Harlow Voller.
Yeah, that's why that was what I started with.
Yeah.
Meaning that he can go in one game and be a hero and be Jerry Rice, and then for the next 3 games just be a non-event. But they're going to miss him definitely.
Dolphins Thomas gets death threats for kneeling. The Dolphins' Michael Thomas says he has received death threats over social media for kneeling during the national anthem.
Michael Thomas. How many Michael Thomases are there in the NFL?
Luck misses practice with right shoulder soreness. Andrew Luck did not practice Wednesday because of a sore right shoulder.
We went through this all last year with Andrew Luck and his right shoulder. He actually missed a couple games last year, and I think at the time Matt Hasselbeck was setting the world on fire, and then he came back to earth.
He was.
Luck's going to play. That's all you need to know.
All right. Garoppolo listed as doubtful for Texans game. This is 54 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Never play.
Patriots quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is listed as doubtful for Thursday night's game against the Texans.
He's not
$12 million a year contract. If he doesn't play another game,
he's not playing.
He shouldn't play.
Yep. Is that pretty much it? Let's see. I would believe so.
No Stephon.
The Bears may face complicated decision with Jay Cutler. The Bears front office has to begin the process of replacing Jay Cutler, but doing so prematurely accomplishes nothing.
What, premature of what exactly? Of your big playoff run that's not coming? Premature of him going and throwing another 60 interceptions over the next 3 years? Find a new guy. He's not getting it done.
All right, it's picks time with Sexy Mclovin. Oh, yeah, well, hold on. Let's do picks first, because otherwise I'll be talking to an empty chair.
Well, I thought you were going to go over how that.
Yeah, all right, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
you could do that too, yeah. All right, so here's the deal. We'll focus on the big ticket here. Last week, just so you guys know, yes to anything that is cool, awesome. I'm still researching that week 1. I still think you went 10-5, and you tied with Tom Patrick Edward Brady Jr. or whatever, but I'm gonna, or excuse me, ex-captain Erroneous X 11-4. He won. He beat Mclovin, so he gets a gift card. But the yes to anything to cool awesome, I'll double check your week 1 stats. As far as week 2 goes, this is what happened for week 2. C&J Sports went 6-10. Yes to anything that is cool awesome, and CV Gunn both went 11-5. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. 8-8. Steve Goldman 9-7. Ex-captain Erroneous X 9-7, and Vadix 8-8. So the updated standings, tied for first is yes to anything that is cool, awesome, and CV Gunn at 21-10. And then in third place you have ex-captain Erroneous X at 20-11. Fourth place.
Should not pick the Bucs up.
Tied for fourth, we have Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. and Steve Goldman at 18-13. Fifth place, we have Vadix at 17 and 14, and then last place, C&J Sports 13 and 18.
That's terrible.
And then C&J Sports, yeah.
13.
Now for the never, what is it called? What is the division I called? The Better Late Than Never division. We have the Peon division. We have JV Mill 6 and 10.
Have your girlfriend or your wife pick them. They can do better than that.
Cali Guy 8 and 8, and Andy Pichardo went 11 and 5. So Andy Pichardo is winning the Better Late Than Never division with Cali Guy in second place and JV Mill in third. Now here's the deal: Andy Pichardo, yes to anything that is cool, awesome, and CV Gun. You all beat Mclovin, who went 10 and 5 last week. So email me at andyvhb@aol.com with your email and obviously
You beat both of us.
Yeah, no, Mike won 12 and 3.
Last week?
Yeah, he won 12 and 3 last week.
That was 2 weeks
That
ago.
was 2 weeks ago.
What are you talking about? Oh, he went 9 and 7.
Yeah.
Oh, he beat both of you.
Yeah. That's what
Oh
I'm saying.
crap! So they win double the fun.
Double the pleasure.
Double the
fun.
pleasure, double the fun coming out of my bank account here. So, you know, it's just that simple. So you guys went double gift cards. So email me at andyvhb@aol.com. I want your email, your username on YouTube to make sure it's really you.
Your ID, your social security number.
No, you don't need all that.
Credit card.
You don't need you don't need all that. So anyway,
Address.
no. So just email me with email me at andyvhb@aol.com to tell me that you've won, where you want your gift card to be at. Double gift cards. So two gift cards for each of you guys, and congratulations.
KPD?
KPD.
I'm
So
38.
so congratulations to all of you. The updated standings, however, for our division, the big three here, we got we got Mike in first place at 21 and 10, the big ticket. A game behind is Mclovin at 20 and 11, and then I'm way behind, 16 and 15. I'm 5 games off the pace in last place. So Mclovin went 9 and 7 against the spread, so he's 19, 12 and 1. He won 59% last week.
No, 59% in
Overall,
total.
overall, 59% overall.
And that's why I said I'm going to stay between, at worst, between 52 and 56%.
All right. Here's the deal. Let's go with the spread. Let's go right to the spread for week 3. Okay. We have Texans at the Patriots.
You do owe me $10.
Texans at the Patriots. Houston on the road is favored by a point.
New England.
New England -1 or +1. All right. The Cardinals at the Bills Sunday. Cardinals at the Bills. Arizona on the road is favored by 4.
Arizona -4.
Okay. Then we have Raiders at Titans. Tennessee at home is favored by 1.5.
Raiders +1.5.
Okay. Then we have Browns at the Dolphins. Dolphins at home are favored by 9.5.
Browns +9.5.
Okay, then we have Ravens at Jaguars. Ravens, it's even between the Ravens and Jaguars.
Ravens.
So that'd be Ravens plus 3. Ravens +3.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Wait, you said it was even?
Ravens, Jaguars even, but Ravens are on the road. So Jaguars theoretically would be favored by 3.
But what is the actual line?
Even.
Yeah, so that's
Just even?
yeah.
So who wins?
whoever wins the game.
Oh, I thought you said that if it was an even or if it was a pick'em, the home team automatically was favored by 3.
No, they factor that in when they make the line.
Oh,
so it's even.
Okay, so it's a pick'em. So you're picking Ravens straight pick'em for that. All right, Lions at Packers. Green Bay at home is favored by 7.5.
Detroit plus the points.
Okay, then we have Broncos at Bengals. Cincinnati at home is favored by 3.5.
Broncos plus 3.5.
Okay, then we have Vikings at Panthers. Carolina at home is favored by 7.
Minnesota plus the 7.
Okay, then we have Redskins at Giants. Giants at home are favored by 4.5.
Washington plus 4.5.
Okay, then we have Rams at 4 o'clock games. Rams at Buccaneers. Tampa Bay at home is favored by 5.5.
St. Louis or LA plus 5.5.
Okay, then we have the 49ers at the Seahawks. Seattle at home is favored by 9.5.
San Francisco plus the points.
Okay, Jets at Chiefs. Kansas City at home is favored by 3.
Jets plus 3.
Okay, Chargers at Colts. Indies at home favored by 3.
Chargers +3.
Okay. Steelers at the Eagles. Pittsburgh on the road is favored by 3.5.
Philly +3.
Okay. 3.5, you mean?
3.5.
Bears at Cowboys Sunday night game. Dallas at home is favored by 7.5.
Chicago +7.5.
Okay. And then the Monday night game, Falcons at the Saints. New Orleans at home is favored by 3.
Falcons at the Saints. Falcons +3.
All right, so we have Atlanta +3. So now we go right in the straight pick'ems, folks.
Straight pick 'em.
Okay. Houston at New England. Who do you got, Mike?
New England.
New England.
Okay, New England for all 3. Cardinals at the Bills.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Okay. Raiders at the Titans.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Okay. Browns at the Dolphins.
Miami.
Wow. Yeah, Miami.
Miami for all 3.
That should be a terrible.
Ravens at Jaguars.
Ravens.
Jaguars.
Okay, Mike and Andy picked Jacksonville. Lions at Packers.
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 Okay. Broncos at Bengals.
Broncos.
Bengals.
I'm also taking the Bengals. Andy and Pat Cincy. Vikings at Panthers.
Carolina.
Yeah. Redskins at Giants.
Giants.
Redskins.
I'm also taking the Redskins. So Andy and Mike, Washington. Rams at Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Bucks.
Okay. 49ers at Seahawks.
Seattle.
Ugh, Seattle.
Okay.
Only because they're at home.
Jets against the Chiefs.
Jets.
Jets.
Taking Kansas City. So Pat
We love
and
Kansas
Mike.
City.
Pat and Mike.
Jets.
Jets. Chargers at Colts.
Take the Colts.
Fucking hate the Colts. Suck.
So do
Give me
the Chargers.
give me the Chargers.
All right, Pat and Andy are taking San Diego. Steelers at the Eagles.
Steelers.
Philly.
I'm also taking Philly.
Yeah.
Pat and Andy with Philadelphia.
EDP 5000.
EDP445. Yeah. EDP445.
5,000.
Speaking of which, I got a surprise for you guys in about 2
Oh, yeah?
seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Bears
Surprises.
Cowboys.
Is he giving us
Cowboys.
tickets?
No, but watch. Bears and Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I said
Oh,
Cowboys.
okay.
while you were-
Okay. And Falcons Saints.
Take the Saints.
I'm going to take the Falcons.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, me too. Andy and Pat, Atlanta. Now, for a bonus, guys, for a bonus, we have a pick of the week
A bonus.
coming at you from EDP445. Hold on one sec, guys. Put him on speaker.
Is this him?
It's gonna be, yeah.
Yo, what up, bitch?
What's up, man?
Shit, chillin' nigga, just bored as a motherfucker, eating these crackers and shit.
What's up, guy?
You're on.
Nothing much, man. Just
You're on the football show. We just went through all our picks. We just wanted to hear your pick of the week for all the viewers out there. This is coming at you from EDP445. Check out his channel. Link will be down in the description box. EDP, the one pick of the week. Who do you got?
one pick of the week, man. I got Pittsburgh beating the fuck out of us. No, I'm just fucking around. My pick of the week, shit, man. I got fucking who do I got? I got Buffalo over Arizona. I
Really?
think that'll be like,
Wow.
yeah, that's the fucking upset of the fucking century right there.
It will be. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it will be.
Oh yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen, but fuck, I just thought, I'll throw some wild ass shit out there.
Man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Really cool to have you. Appreciate the pick of the week. EDP445 coming at you. Buffalo over Arizona. Upset of the century. EDP, I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Hey, take care. Good
Thanks,
luck.
man.
Ready the fucking millennium shit.
Thanks, man.
Good luck to Philly.
All right, man.
All right, man. was pretty cool.
Yeah.
EDP445, check out his channel. This has been week 3, Fantasy Football with Mclovin and the Big Green Bay Packer Ticket. Coming at you next week with week 4. We'll see how this week goes.
See ya.
See ya.